We'll do it live. We'll do it live. That's right. We're going to do it live. We're inside the Mayhem. I'm Mean Gene Money. I've got my partner, Zach Panzarella, and we just finished an amazing race at Talladega Speedway. It's playoff time here in the MRL Cup Series. We're in the round of 12, 3 races to determine who goes home and who continues their quest for the Holy Grail, the Championship Cup. It was Talladega this week. It was Miami last week, and it's going to be Kentucky next week. Let's talk about what happened just last week. Zach, pull up those numbers. Last week, we're off at Miami. And you can see right there, that's our playoff picture. Last week, we're at Miami, and this is how it ended. Colin Bollinger scores the win, takes over the lead from regular season champion David Owens. Tony Iverson, Vulpes. Really, the confusing part is who's going to go home. Daniel Smith, he must already have a plane ticket halfway there because the guy didn't even show up for the race at Miami. Looking at that cutoff line, it's Jose Medina. He is number 8. Matt Novella right behind him. Matty's going to need a big race here at Talladega. Hillman, Sanders, all in danger of going home. Also very close, Kevin Kyle. Sean Walton, that guy scored a second place finish. And Andrew Bolander, he got third. Team Mopar was out of control at Miami, and they just ran the gambit. They were like R. Kelly making a video, and everybody else was just a groupie. That leads us into this week, where we're going to be at Talladega Motor Speedway, and it was absolute chaos. Let's see that beautiful footage. This, ladies and gentlemen, is basically lap 45 through lap 52. It's a 75-lap race, and they did have stage points awarded at 38. First 38 laps, very calm, only a couple of accidental cautions. But then it began. The teams started to get together. MC Motorsports, Jonathan K. Sabir running with his buddy. You saw Mopar, Colin Bollinger, Andrew Bolander, Sean Walton, all trying to get together. The High Side Hustlers trying to get together. Iverson, Eric Thornton shows up. Buddy Sully shows up. David Owens. And let's take a look. Look in the middle. That's that blue and blue car, the 988 of Kyle Lynott, part-time driver, but here full-time for David Owens. Look how close these boys are here. Lap 45. That's Swingle and Steve Lewis. Nerves of steel, Captain Crunch, unfazed by this 3-wide move. Pull back. Look at Jack Sanders. All the way back 3 wide, and it just went on like this. These are not parade laps. This is not Talladega last year. 4 wide, why not make it happen? Jack Sanders policing the outside. We're continuing to watch Owens and Lynott moving forward. This team theme really stuck out. Look at the blink, the 31 of Daniel Smith backs out, trying to get picked up by his teammate, the 53 of Colin Bollinger. And there it gets even more spicy. The 57 of Brandon Guerin, the 07 of Joe Vulpes, and Steve Lewis, Jax Duvall. No one fazed as they continue to race around. Green flag racing, again, for about 10 laps of wildness. Iverson gets eaten alive, straight back through the pack. And this also would be a theme that we would see. Cars would get out in the front and then lose their position, picking the wrong lane, and they get punished. Again, though, Swingle making that inside work there. Look at Owens trying to go around the outside with Lynott. Inside, Swingle, Mata, Jack Sanders with a great push right into the back of Novella. Smash drafting at its finest. The 54 of Medina right there abandoned immediately to make it 3 wide. Jose had no friends out there, and it definitely showed in the end result of his day. Medina, also a playoff driver, needed to make friends, but these alliances were already formed. East Coast Alliance. Look at Medina, adores him for his effort, too. Says, hey, bud, why didn't you push me, you knucklehead? Medina speaks a second language, so he probably could have said it a whole lot more colorfully than I did. Look at that bottom lane. Iverson, Sabir, Smith trying to make it work. Michael Mata. But again, keeping an eye on that 988 on that outside, that blue and blue car. And look at Volpus's turn to get the screw job. You can just hear it twisting as he's going straight back. Up ahead, look at Tucker on that top lane, pushing Sean Walton as hard as he can. And now it's Matt Novella's turn to get it right in the backside and just head straight backward. These guys were trying to make three wide work, but if you didn't have the right fellow pushing and protecting you, you were doomed. More often than not, we just saw that inside lane just be dominant and have them not be consistent enough to hold that speed, especially on restarts. We saw that theme as well. Here we go, where the race finally starts to calm down, and you think, okay, we're finally at work, right? Wrong. Look at this. Lynott again, gonna go high, bringing his buddy David Owens. Michael Mata says, I don't think so. I'm gonna go up here and just rub it as hard as I can. Lynott, he doesn't like it. Up front, look at Owens and Tucker and Duval all pushing, making that outside work. It seemed like once they got up to speed, that outside lane could work, but the inside, not so much. Thornton, the one car on the outside now with Lynott. But guess what? Matt Tucker comes up, throws a block, causing that outside lane to lose momentum just temporarily. And the inside lane, again, getting dominant. So no one's holding their line. People are just shooting around. And now here we go again. Tucker gets loose. Thornton goes under him. And look at the hard cutting down. Joe Volpus, Medina, Lewis, all slamming down. Meanwhile, Tucker, Thornton side by side. Kyle Lynott is... And teammates, no allegiance at this point as well. Just a good time had for all. And you can see how they lose that lead group just momentarily. It's a big pack. Don't worry, folks. They'll catch back up and give us some more exciting racing. But you can just see how close these guys were to each other and how they would make this race work. 2, 3 wide throughout this race, just giving us an amazing show throughout the entire time. That was just a heck of a run that you could see. And now finally, Lynott and Owens on that outside, finally with Thornton, thinking they're going somewhere. But look who they're next to. They're back there with Lewis and Colin Bollinger. That is not up at the front of the pack.
I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in the year we've been covering this league, Mean Gene. This racing, watching it back, it feels like I'm watching it live again, and I'm seeing new things that we didn't see before, and there it is right there. It's because you push with Lynott and Thornton, but I just cannot believe how long they were able to make this work.
No, that's especially watching just I called it a maelstrom. It was a beautiful dance. It was just poetry in motion to see how these fellas could continue to make that thing work. And remember Daniel Smith, who came down and got out of the way because he was blinking. Now he's moved back up on that outside lane again. So it just continued to ebb and flow, give, take, and take. Very little giving unless you happen to be your teammate that you were working with. And then even at some points, we just saw teammates as well say, I'm sorry, I can't wait, and I just have to go.
Even what's on screen right now is a great example of that, is that those are teammates right there that won that 13. Separated in different lanes, not working together, and same with that 988 and that 56.
And
those
Owens.
are teammates, right?
And Owens disappeared.
Mean Gene, when this race ended and we had that 15-minute break, I came upstairs and my fiance, who watches these broadcasts, said that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And she's a big NASCAR fan. She's seen this in person, and she's seen it in the Cup Series for nearly a decade, and this blew her mind.
I can see why. Watching the way these fellas made it around this track.
And caution is out at this point, and that was not even part of this. Not even part of this field, which is even crazier. Me and Gene.
Yeah, they were, and so the boys actually I think you put it best, Zach. You said none of them actually paid the price for wild driving. So all of them thought they were Superman, that they were in the zone,
Yep.
and they could just see the path opening in front of them. And we'd continue to see that style of racing.
They learned
I'll tell you
nothing.
what, they learned nothing. Let's move forward now. Let's take a peek at one of our restarts. So here we go. This is going to be one of our restarts. And look at the 23 right now on the outside. He's not the control car, so he has to wait on, I believe that's Duval on the inside. So Duval on the inside, 84 control car, coming around. Walton being very cautious. Look at this. All of a sudden, he's 2 car lengths back by the time he gets there because he's matching the speed of the 84. It's a shorter distance on the inside. He pays for it. You can see immediately Sanders drops down. Novella, that outside lane just is garbage on that restart. Why? It's a longer lane, and you got to keep the pace or you're going to get that black flag for speeding. Lynott, again, you can see him try to peak up high. Car's not up to speed, but look what happened to Walton. Walton fades back, and suddenly he's in 8th place. Here's another restart. Let's look at Jonathan K. Sabir. He's on the outside in that number 6 VRN car. He's got to maintain speed. What happens? He suddenly falls back, even with the second car on the inside row. Hit the Geico restart zone. Zoom. He's already 3 cars back. Luckily for him, that outside lane seemed to be formed up a little better, but it doesn't matter because look at the gap now. If the 97 of Swingle wanted to come up, he could. And he's battling Sean Walton for side drafting on that inside lane. So outside lane, very difficult to make work. You can see Jack Sanders policing that outside lane. And now this one is a curiosity. Jonathan K. Sabir is the control car, and he chooses the outside lane. We've seen it not work twice. K. Sabir was out there against his will the first time. This time he chooses it, and let's see what happens. Yeah, you're side by side. You've got the good speed, but still it is a shorter distance on the inside lane. And coming up to speed, it just burns him. Also got Bolander and Sanders giving him a good push, whereas Tucker and Owens just weren't quite as tight. And Tucker immediately abandons him. And watch what happens to K. Sabir. Remember, this guy was in first place on that restart, and suddenly he finds him all the way back simply because of poor lane selection. First place on the restart, 11th place in the middle of the back stretch. Not where you want to be. He's going to try to make it up, but the fun and games begin again. You need to have a teammate. In this situation, he's side by side with Michael Mata. Not going to get a lot of help right there. And there's Iverson, who also was at the front, and then he's victimized to go straight back as well. Let's take it to that final restart. We did have an accident. We had a few. This is green-white checker situation. Tony Iverson on the inside. David Owens on the outside. Owens is going to get the push from his buddy Lynott. Eric Thornton pushing Iverson on the inside. These are 4 teammates, 3 high side hustlers, plus Kyle Lynott. You would imagine these guys can control the lane. Look at the backup. Look at the accordion effect. It's a human centipede out there as all these guys go A to B. They finally get this thing working. Outside lane seems to have a better shot here today, but there goes Thornton. 4 teammates all making it work, controlling. Lynott is their buddy and he's trying to help somebody win. You can see Novella peek under. Novella wearing that DDI scheme, and here's where it gets spicy. Everybody wants the win. Everybody's working for themselves. Lynott pushing Owens. That's why he's there. But at some point, every man thinks, maybe I could be the one. Lynott goes high, and there goes Novella down low. Iverson's going to go with Lynott. He's got his buddy Thornton through the guy code. Once they cross the start-finish line, it's real, and then Sean Walton pays the price. Sean Walton gets spun. He had some close calls. Remember, he spun Kevin Kyle earlier in the race, so maybe that was just the karma bug coming to get a piece of the backside of Sean Walton. They race around to the final. They're on the backstretch. Jack Sanders, Kevin Kyle. You can see all of the different fellas. Here's Novella on the outside. He's with Owens. Iverson goes with them. This thing is a done deal, right? It's Owens looking like he's going to get the win. Not a problem. It should be simple at this stage. But Novella with the speed suddenly finds Iverson, finds Mata. It's the big one. And it's Jax Duvall. He didn't make the playoffs. He don't care. He's going to take a trophy back down to Florida. I talked with Jax after the race, and that guy said, I don't care that I didn't make the playoffs. I'm going to win more races in this playoff than anybody else, and I'm going to score more points than anybody, and then we'll talk about who the real champion is. Jax Duvall showing why he's the spicy guy. Behind him, you can see Jack Sanders ends up pulling up as well as Kevin Kyle. So final finish here today was David Owens taking second behind, and then Jack Sanders third, and Kevin Kyle fourth. And I got a surprise for you guys at home. You know who I got in the booth with us? The mustache man himself, Kevin Kyle. Kevin, how are you doing?
Good. If you guys didn't get enough of me during the broadcast, then you're in luck. Here's a second helping.
Not even close, Kevin. Not even close to enough.
So, Kevin,
Yes,
you
sir.
were needing a big run here today. Let's pull the playoff points up just for a moment going in.
More importantly, me and Jen,
Oh.
I gotta get the mustache cam graphic up. I'm sorry.
Oh, the mustache cam.
Priorities, right? But you're right. The playoff points are important, but I mean, look at this man's face.
I see it. I'm working on mine. We're going to go side by side.
I
Give
am
me another
ready
couple of
for
weeks.
that battle, but you're right. Okay, so here are the playoff points.
I need
You
another
want them
couple of
going
weeks.
in or coming out of this race.
Going in. Let's look at going
All right,
in.
there you go. Oh God,
I always
we have to
like
fix-
going
You
in.
can make me smaller there. Yeah, you could. Don't worry about it.
All right. So you can see Medina is in 8th. Kevin Kyle right there on the line of comfortable, uncomfortable, needing a big run. And so, Kevin, coming into this thing, how much practice did you put in? And were you a little worried with a two-man team that this thing might bite you in the behind?
Talladega isn't really too much practice, as everyone says. It's more just about, I think it's more about getting on the track and just getting that sense of being that claustrophobic feeling of not seeing in front of you, and just getting on the track and practicing with the people around you, seeing who has a steady hand, who do you like to follow, who pushes well. I think that's all about the practice. And then, yeah, me and Jack, I mean, we haven't really been worried about us just being us two out there. Because with these tracks, like I told you guys earlier in the other interview, it's just more about, you do whatever you can on your own. And if by any chance we meet up, then great, it works out and we can help each other out. But it's not really a priority. It's more about just, hey, checking in with each other on fuel and things like that. But yeah, no practice. That's what's nice about Talladega, Atlanta, the plate tracks. You can kind of relax that week and then just get ready to get on the track and race. So I mean, that's how I take them.
I love that you say that you can sit back and relax. Kevin, we actually had a heart rate monitor on you.
Correct.
And,
yes.
You bumped 120 at one point, right when you got a little spin job. So there was some high racing. You were averaging about 116, and then you got to 120 on there. So I love that you say relax. But that heart rate was going pretty good. Now, I've asked the other drivers, I got to ask you, we showed that mayhem between laps 45 and 52. How did you feel in the middle of all that? Did you think it was controlled chaos, or was your heart pounding waiting for the big one?
It's waiting for the big one because you just see everyone shifting and all over the track, and you just waiting for someone to get not clear, and get spun. And then that's when all hell breaks loose. But
Weren't you in that small incident that created the caution at the end? Were you guys in that big group in the beginning and you drifted back?
No, like we got the restart on that last green white checkered on the last restart. There was a bad checkup, and I'm not sure. I think it was John Beverly and Colin Bollinger in front of me and Jack, and then I just remember running in the back of Jack real hard, and it kind of just made us back up a lot, and then that what might have saved us though, and had time to avoid the wreck, because we had to really dive out of the way. I think if you go back and look at it, I think I had to dive down under, I go down really low below to avoid a wreck, and then we just kept the gas on it and gathered momentum back while the other guys were messing around up front.
That's the GW.
Oh, the finish.
Okay. But 45 to 52, that crazy stretch we had, weren't you the middle car in what ultimately ended up being the caution when you guys were single file?
I think Michael Mata, I would love to see it. I haven't gotten to take a replay look at it, but
look at it real quick. It was a weird one. It looked like actually Hunter Hall may have had something happen too.
So yeah, it was a 3-car breakaway. It was just, so what happened on that was a terrible restart, and then it felt like I got side drafted and just lost the draft completely. And so we're back here gathering cars back, and then Hunter Hall, he keyed up and he said that his wheel disconnected, like
that's
totally disconnected.
Look at this right here. It just stops. Yep, there it is, right there.
Yeah, it was just like, what else could go wrong here?
Right.
And but luckily the crew was able to. All the damage I received this whole race was repairable. I never used my fast repair. So like I got really lucky in that aspect of being able to have that in my back pocket. But yeah, that was a really weird one. I just lost the draft, and then that happened, and then
were you guys?
Go ahead.
Were you too far back to see what was happening in front of you?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
was wondering.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you got shuffled
out
from it, or if it was a selective thing. Because when the caution came out, me and Gene could not believe that it wasn't from that group, and that was a curious one as well, and that was the speculation that him and I made as well.
Yeah.
With an equipment failure.
If you were to rewind, it to that restart, you could see like I try to whip around and get a good start, and I just can't, and I lose the draft. My foot was in the throttle the whole time, and then
these next gens, man.
But yeah, it was just tough. Yeah, right here you can. Yeah, I'll whip around on the outside.
Why were you guys pitting so much for fuel?
It was just because, like, if you're already in the back, you might as well top off, because if it does go green flag and you go to see, I check up right there.
Oh wow, yeah. Damage is done. You're right.
Yeah, but now, like, so I'm like, I got a great run, but the inside lane, like, there's no help out in front of me to grab the draft, and then the inside lane just goes right by me again. I lose all that speed I had, and then I get caught up with Robert and John, and I just lose the draft, and then we both fight for the draft here, and then that's all it took, and then I'm a solo car, and that was it.
All too familiar for us, but yeah, now me and Gene and Kevin take us through that last restart, and we'll go in the cockpit of Kevin Kyle for that one, because I don't know if there's a better place to see all the action happen.
Yeah, you're solo there, but you're not solo at the end. You get that restart. You and your teammate do finally get to hook up, and walk us through this final restart.
Yeah, well, I smashed Jack right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you'll see. I just run
time.
right in. Yeah, I just run right in the back of Jack. And then we're just like, shit, like this is it, green, white, checkered. And then we just try to rebound from this. And I just pushed Jack. That's it. And then let's see here.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, huge checkup. So I'm like, all right, we're already starting in the hole. Like we're already losing spots now. And then now it's just all about keeping the foot in it, shifting through the gears, and trying to find a hole through this. You're not really you're just trying to make the best out of your situation. You can't really. I think I'm in 16th place. Yeah, I'm in 17th place back here. You know, like, you need to do really well. This is like the second cutoff, the penultimate race before the cutoff. And it's like, there's a lot of things going through your head. And then this is where it starts happening. Something starts happening here. I thought, no, maybe the next turn. Cause I just remember.
It's
which right after the start finish.
Mean Gene, he said penultimate.
Yeah, I like it. I like that many syllables. Here we go.
Yeah, huge run right here, right? So we're like, okay, stay on the bottom, and then Jose comes down a little close, but no big deal. Like, it's 3 wide. He can hold the line. So like,
and then it's Sean Walton time.
Red Sea. Moses.
Yeah. And then we stay in it, and then Jack's like, hey, push us so we can catch these guys. And then like somehow, and then I just have a hard time to like pushing them. I wish I could push them harder.
Worst time to find him.
Yeah, 1 and 2 was cool, and then 3 and 4, it's like you got the pressure of like, hey, if we can push hard enough, we might have a shot at this thing. And then sure enough, like I couldn't believe it, but right now the adrenaline's pumping because it's like, yeah, we're catching them, man. Yeah, we're catching them. Maybe we can get them. And then right here, I just wish I could stay in it more. It was just, I just didn't want to spin them, because to lose it right there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You see smoke.
You are
Moses.
Moses.
Stay down low.
Is that the guy who
just stay down low? And we just get Kyle at the very end there. So, but yeah, no, Jack, great teammate, kept me as calm as I could be. Just kind of like push him, and then like I said, you only as fast as the car in front of you. If you want to go faster, you got to push the car in front. I know Gulf Coast is kind of talking about, or East Coast Alliance or whatever they're going by, or I think it's David Owens' teammates. They're just talking more about, okay, staying together more, because whatever group was up front, they, I don't know which way they sway, but they're always in each other's groups. But no, if they would have stayed straight and pushed, I don't think any of that would have happened. But no, awesome race, exciting. I mean, we needed that. Me and Jack both. I think I only moved up 1 spot, to be honest with you, but the points difference is really, I have a little bit more of a buffer now going into, it's Kentucky, right? I think we're going to Kentucky.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, go ahead and pull up. Go ahead and pull up the.
Yeah, we're right now. And I will say this: I get Jack's mentality there, because I feel like you had that insane wreck in front of you, and somehow you come out of it, and your teammate is right behind you. It would feel like this is meant to be. Let's send this. Let's go for it. And
yeah, it did, because we both made it through there, and then Jack's like, push me, man, we can make it. And then, like you said, it worked out.
Close, so close. But here you guys go. Oh, I'm sorry, that was not the right one. Let's go to the updated playoff standings. Here you go.
So I only move up 1 spot, but Jack, like that was a huge thing for Jack. He moved up 4 spots, so he's in a lot better spot. Like at least we have a chance now. We're not comfortable at all. We got to really have a great showing. I don't really win races too much. It's a hit and miss for me. Every once in a while, I get lucky. I'm just I'm more consistent, but this one was tough. This one, I was up at the front, and then I had that incident with Sean, which, I went back and looked at it. I don't think any fault to Sean. It's just Sean's got a terrible reputation, in which it might be deserved. But like I'm going to say on this one, I came up high and he tried to push, and I think the push just met me at the wrong time. But I mean, only thing is, Sean, you're listening, it's like when you're pushing me and I got a car in front of me, I can't go anywhere. So that's the only thing that's annoying, but I get it. Like, you were pushing good, but I couldn't go anywhere. But no, I think some of the stuff Sean got involved with, I looked at it. I mean, I hate to stand up for the guy at all, but it's like, you look back at it, it's like, Jose came down on him, when they were 4 wide a little bit, if Jose would have stayed up. But, Sean's always
or that one incident where 2 cars came together on him.
Yeah, it's like, but the problem is like when your name's always involved in the incidents, at the same time, you got to work on not being that person involved in it all the time. But I think he was in 3 or 4 of the incidents tonight. So it's like, who's the common? And I was too, though. I mean, I think I got to go back and look at it, because I remember I went 3 wide with a group and it felt like they couldn't hold their line. And I almost got DQ'd. Almost had 7. I think I had 15. I was up there.
Yeah, we did have 2 drivers end up picking up penalties as well. So 2 guys came out of there with penalties, unfortunately.
Yeah, Sean
Mhm.
lost 4, and then
Yeah, Sean losing those 4 points. So yeah, when we look at it now, you got to feel a lot better about where you are, because the big issue is who's in ninth. You know, the points of the guy in ninth place is what we're looking at as far as advancing. Don't be ninth place. Um, he's 43 behind the leader, whereas you were 20. So that has to make you feel good.
yeah, we need
Going
all
in
the
there
help.
thinking,
Yeah, we need all the help we need can get, Mean Gene. It's not like a secret that I'm not a superstar out here winning races. I got lucky at iRacing Super Speedway. Um, not that, yeah, very, it's not like I need, you never know. You never know. It could happen, but I need all the help I can get, and I'll take it. You know what I mean? That's why we try to race people clean, as it goes a long way throughout the playoffs, because I know, yeah, you never know. I guess I'll just leave it at that.
well, and two of the guys below you do have wins on the season. Daniel Smith and Alex Hillman, both winners this season. So they could strike again. And then
Right.
suddenly it is the top 7. And then it's you and Jack separated by 3 points as far as who might be the unfortunate one. So next week, going to be interesting. Is Kentucky a top track for you?
I'd say it's a top 10 track. I enjoy it. Turn 3 and 4, you really need. Yeah, you got turn 3 and 4. You really got to work it. There's a couple ways around it to save tire, but yeah, I'd say just follow Colin Bollinger and you'll be okay. He starts from the back usually, so it's not hard to follow him through the field if you can keep up with him.
Yeah, well, he's got all those Mopar guys surrounding him, so you just got to get into the parade. I'll tell you what, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Before you go, I'm going to ask you this. Tell us something about Kevin Kyle that we might not know.
Shit. I'm training for a half marathon, I guess, on May 4th. I like
I know that.
exercise.
I already know that,
I used to
Minjin.
weigh-
Something else.
Yeah. Okay.
No, the viewers don't know. Tell us about it.
I mean, you guys know a lot about me.
Look at that body. He's obviously trained for half marathon, Minjin. Look at that body.
I'm still big, but like I think I've lost, like, I used to weigh 335. I'm down to 260. Yeah. So I've been real exercising lately.
Are you 6'7", man? You carry it well.
Thank you. No, I'm 6 foot. I'm just a normal,
Wow.
I think, average 6 foot guy. I'd say that's something you don't know. And then
He has a mustache.
When is the
You guys know that?
marathon? When
Yeah,
when is the
trophies.
marathon? When are you running this?
May 4th. It's a
All
half a
right,
marathon.
so-
Half a marathon.
May the 4th be with you when you get
Very
out there
nice.
It is Star Wars
Mhm.
themed.
and make that happen.
Where is
All right,
it?
ladies and gentlemen, that is where are
is
you
it?
running it?
Huntington. No, Long Beach.
Hey, very nice.
Weren't you just there, Zach?
I was there yesterday. Man, I'll tell you guys, IndyCar racing, not as me and Kevin were actually texting Saturday night, not as exciting as NASCAR is, not even close. 0 yellow flags. Like, I thought I hated stage racing, guys, but maybe I don't. After what I saw yesterday.
It's about taking in this. When you're there, it's just taking about in the atmosphere and the scenery and walking around. Like,
It's kind of like the Monaco of America in a way, right? Like, no disrespect to
is.
Monaco, it's not, it's not, but kind of what it feels like. Where I think if they said something about like no one has won that race in the past 5 years that hasn't qualified top 5, and that gives you a taste of what to expect in a race like that, I guess.
Ooh, little follow the leader, huh?
Exactly.
Well, we had no follow the leader tonight. We had mass insanity,
NASCAR.
hard passes, 3 wide, 4 wide. Let's go 5 wide with somebody under the apron because it's all for a good time. Kevin, congratulations tonight. Great run. Good
Thank you,
position moving into Kentucky next week. Thank you for coming on, and we will talk to you soon, brother.
yeah, anytime. Thank you guys for everything, and have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Mustache.
Well, nice having him come on. And, well, a marathon. Not me, buddy. I can't run a marathon with the bourbon in my hand.
Buddy Sully's not. I'm just kidding. I totally agree, me and Gene. Yeah, I saw that one Office episode, and I was like, oh, so you can't just have Alfredo and, like you said, bourbon in the middle of a marathon? Not interested then. Not my flavor. But yeah, I will say one thing I did not know about Kevin Kyle, and not to be personal, but the weight, man, he carries it well. Kevin Kyle, good looking dude, and good for him. That's super, super impressive, me and Gene. I have a couple friends who have been training for marathons lately, and they are far more in shape than I am, and I have no idea how they do it. And props to him. And yeah, Long Beach, cool city, really, really cool city, really cool race over there. And I've talked about this before too, and I think I guess I'll give a little tease for the DDI Racing League. Not this season, but maybe next. I really want to bring stock cars to that track, me and Gene. Really, really badly. Wow. You saw how good Chicago is. Long Beach is better. Long Beach is better.
Oh, that'd be fun. Speaking of, let's go ahead and pop that up. Let's do a little presser.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Give me a sec. I have to hold it up from something else. But yeah, I agree. Let's talk about the DDI Racing League. Don't worry. Boom. Oh, God.
It's so big.
It's in your... That's what she said.
That's what she said.
We were talking about the office after all, but here we go.
Yeah, you have to. League. There it is. Yeah, so this is coming up on Wednesdays. Nice fixed C truck lead, 3,000 iRacing cap. Already have how many drivers?
30 plus, me and Gene. It's filling up way quicker than I expected, to be totally honest. We are about just under a month from our first exhibition race. I'd say, just over 2 months from when the actual start of the season, and the roster is already filling up extremely quickly. So that's super, super cool to see. And it's a lot of drivers I think are going to be familiar to if you watch Sundays and Mondays, even Thursdays, on the many broadcasts that you and I get to cover.
Yeah, it's great. And also, drawing from other leagues as well, going to give us the opportunity to just put on some amazing race. And that, of course, will be here on the Vortex Racing Network. So go ahead, and if you haven't done it, if you ended up here on accident, go ahead and subscribe and take that opportunity to watch them races or participate in them. Who knows? You could be out there and you could be the next Kevin Kyle up here on the post-race show.
And you'll get to race against them as well. Kevin Kyle will be racing in the Wednesday Night League. I think he'll be fairly part-time, if not full-time. And also, we haven't put the official start time on the flyer yet. And that's because it's also kind of up in the air right now. Right now, we're kind of thinking maybe 10 p.m. Eastern, but also maybe 9 p.m. Eastern. We're not sure if we want it to be kind of like this league here tonight here on Mondays, where it's more of a late-night league, which I really love over on the West Coast. Or more of a earlier side for the West Coast guys, but reasonable for the East Coast guys. It blows my mind, Mean Gene, how many East Coast guys are on or in this Monday night roster. I think going green at midnight for them? Crazy. Super appreciative. So
11.
11. Okay, so ending the race after midnight. Again, that's why they always thank their wives and significant others during their interviews, because that's some serious commitment and it means the world to us. So. Definitely sign up and go to that link you see there, vortexracingnetwork.com/DDIRL, or just go to vortexracingnetwork.com. You'll see it on the top menu where to sign up. Because when you do sign up, you can put in your comments, and we'll also be sending out a questionnaire to those who had signed up, because we want to know what makes the most sense to everybody, and that's how we're going to finalize this league. And the last thing I want to touch on this league, Main Gene, are the two last rows you see there, which is fun, clean, fair, and competitive racing. And I think today was the best example of what to expect from our league as well. And also why I said I'm excited that there's going to be a lot of familiar faces. A lot of the Monday night guys will be here on that Wednesday night league, but in a different car. But those guys tonight just showing so much how incredible of a show they can put on. That was genuinely some of the best racing I've seen in my life, and that includes real racing with guys that we consider the best in the world. That was insane. And then below that, you see the exhibition. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I say watching 3 wide is wild.
It's insane. And 4 wide's even crazier, and I think we even saw 5 wide. And then the exhibition race is coming soon. I will drop the entire schedule next week to show you guys what the exhibition races will be, the dates of them, and one of them will be on a Tuesday as well, to see how many people would rather race on Tuesdays versus Wednesdays. We're going to try that out as well. Because again, everything up in the air. We will change what makes the most sense to fill out the roster, but we thought a Tuesday night would be a fun little show to put it on for you guys. But I will tell you this right now. 2 of the tracks that the exhibition races will be, 2 out of 3 of them, Mean Gene, Kansas and Charlotte. 2 awesome racetracks.
Ooh.
I'll leave the third one a secret.
I think I got my best finish ever at Kansas.
I believe that track is so much fun. I love that place.
Lots of lanes. You can ride the wall. You can try to go low, see what happens. There's a nice fancy bump in the middle of one of those turns to give you a good time.
Oh, that one's yeah, and you always forget about it, and it hits you when you least expect it. And it's also another place for me to suck on long runs, as you guys saw on the Thursday nights. Unable to figure out the long run right now is Zach Panzarella.
Tires are overrated. You don't need tires.
Screw him. You smoke him, got him. I'm smoking too much.
Smoke him if you got him. Yep. Yeah, you just gotta smoke him early.
You're right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a great show. Thank you to Kevin Kyle for joining us. Thank you, Zach, for producing and making all of this happen. And I want to thank our admins for the MRL League, of course, Steve Fugay, David Owens, Joe Volpus, John Beverly, making it happen. Our sponsors, Chantilly Lace. All of your photography needs can be accommodated by Chantilly Lace. If you live on the East Coast, if you live on the West Coast, you might have to fly them out to make it happen, but they can definitely take care of all your video or still photography needs. And then you could get Kevin to put it in a piece of wood for you.
I think we're doing it. We were joking earlier this year about flying them out. I might do it because God, it's hard to find a photographer for a wedding. I'm getting married in oh my gosh, a month from 2 days from now, and we don't have a photographer yet, so I might be hitting these guys up and flying them out for real. I'm not even kidding.
Get all your boys to pull out their cell phones and figure it out.
Oh, honestly, it might get to that point.
Best picture wins. Best picture wins.
A free beer and t-shirt.
That's right. They can get a drawing into the drawing.
Exactly.
For every good picture, you get into the drawing.
Exactly.
Well, thanks again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to wrap us up from Inside the Mayhem after our Talladega race. That is going to be the penultimate race in the round of 12. I'm a steal from Kevin. The penultimate race.
I said
in
it
the
first.
Round of. Did you? Oh my.
Oh, I'm gonna show you.
I'm a steal from Zach.
It was like a month ago, me and Gene. I was so proud of it.
It's time stamped. We're gonna go to the timestamp.
Oh, I'll have the data next week. Don't you worry.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, guys. I hope you had a good time watching. I know we have a good time doing this. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.